Hostels, doors to the unknown. They stand in cities all over the world, places for travelers to rest, to connect. Hostels. But beneath the friendly facade, a darkness lurks, stories whispered in hushed tones. Tales of the unexplained. I've spent years investigating the paranormal, and let me tell you, hostels are like doorways to another realm, places where the veil between our world and the next is thin. What follows are just a few of the chilling encounters I've uncovered. Our first stop, Amsterdam, a city known for its vibrant nightlife and picturesque canals, but beneath its charming facade lies a darker, more sinister side. A young woman named Sarah was staying in a cramped six-bed dorm. She had come to Amsterdam for an adventure, but what she found was far from what she expected. The energy in the room felt heavy, oppressive. It was as if the walls themselves were closing in, suffocating her with an unseen force. Every night as she tried to sleep, Sarah heard whispers. They were faint at first, barely audible, like the rustling of leaves in the wind. But as the nights went on, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They seemed to be calling her name, beckoning her to listen. They seemed to be coming from the empty bunk above her. She would lie there, staring at the empty bed, her heart pounding in her chest. One night, the whispers turned into guttural voices. They were deep, menacing, and filled with a malevolent intent. Sarah felt a cold presence near her bed. It was as if someone, or something, was standing right next to her, watching her every move. She could barely breathe, fear paralyzing her. Her chest tightened, and she felt as if she was being suffocated by an invisible force. She scrambled out of bed, racing to turn on the light. Her hands trembled as she fumbled for the switch, desperate to banish the darkness. As the light flickered on, the voices stopped. The room was silent once more, but the oppressive atmosphere remained. Sarah looked up at the empty bunk. It was just as she had left it, but now it seemed more ominous, more threatening. There, scrawled on the wall in what looked like blood, was a message. "You're next." The word sent a chill down her spine, and she knew she had to leave that place, and fast. Our journey takes us to Buenos Aires, Argentina, a city where the past and present intertwine in a dance of shadows and light. A city pulsing with life, where the streets are always alive with the sounds of laughter, music, and the hustle and bustle of daily life. But beneath this vibrant surface, Buenos Aires harbors ancient secrets, hidden in its narrow alleyways and old courtyards, whispering tales of the past. A young backpacker named Marco, eager to explore the city's rich history, checked into a historic hostel, unaware of the mysteries that awaited him. The hostel was a beautiful building, its grand facade hiding a dark past filled with untold stories and eerie legends. From the moment he arrived, Marco felt a sense of unease, as if the walls themselves were whispering secrets he couldn't quite hear. One night, Marco was jolted awake by a strange sound, a noise that seemed to echo through the very bones of the old building. It was a dragging noise, coming from the hallway, a sound that sent chills down his spine and made his heart race. Gathering his courage, Marco got out of bed and peered out the door, his eyes straining to see through the dim light. At the end of the long, dimly lit hallway, he saw a figure, a shadowy presence that seemed to absorb the light around it. The figure was tall and menacing, with long, sharp claws that glinted faintly in the darkness, adding to its terrifying appearance. It moved slowly, deliberately, dragging something heavy across the floor, the sound echoing ominously through the hallway. Marco watched in terror, his breath caught in his throat as the figure moved closer, its eyes glowing a sinister red, piercing through the darkness. Then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the figure vanished into thin air, leaving Marco standing in the hallway, his heart pounding and his mind racing with questions. Our final destination, Edinburgh, Scotland. A city steeped in history and legend. A group of friends on a European adventure decided to stay in a centuries-old hostel. Little did they know they were about to uncover a terrifying secret. One evening, while exploring the hostel's labyrinthine corridors, they stumbled upon a hidden door. It was concealed behind a tapestry, its heavy wooden frame cold to the touch. Curiosity got the better of them, and they slowly pushed the door open. Inside, they found a small, dusty room. The air was thick with the stench of decay. In the center of the room stood a single chair, and on that chair lay a book. The book was bound in ancient leather, its pages filled with strange symbols and disturbing illustrations. It was a relic from a time long forgotten, a time when the line between the living and the dead was thin and easily crossed. The friends had found it in the attic of an old abandoned house, a place rumored to be haunted. As they flipped through it, the friends felt a cold presence enter the room. The temperature dropped suddenly, and a chill ran down their spines. They exchanged nervous glances, each one silently questioning if the others felt it too. The air grew heavy, almost suffocating, as if an unseen force was pressing down on them. They weren't alone. Suddenly the door slammed shut, plunging them into darkness. The sound echoed through the room, a deafening reminder of their isolation. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped, the only light coming from the faint glow of the book's pages. Panicked, they fumbled for the light switch, but it wouldn't budge. Their hands trembled as they tried to force it, but it was as if the switch was glued in place. The darkness seemed to close in on them, amplifying their fear. They were trapped. Then they heard it. Breathing. It was a sound that sent chills down their spines, a heavy, raspy breathing that seemed to come from all around them. It was close, too close for comfort. Heavy, raspy breathing, close to their faces. They could feel the warmth of the breath, a stark contrast to the cold that enveloped the room. It was as if the unseen guest was right there, inches away from them. The friends huddled together, their hearts pounding in their chests. They clung to each other, seeking comfort in their shared terror. Every creak, every whisper of movement in the dark made them jump. They could feel their unseen guest moving closer, its cold breath sending shivers down their spines. It was a presence that felt ancient and malevolent, as if it had been waiting for this moment for centuries. Then, as quickly as it had started, it stopped. The breathing ceased, and the oppressive weight lifted from the room. The friends looked around, their eyes slowly adjusting to the darkness, but the sense of dread lingered. The door creaked open, revealing the brightly lit hallway. The book was gone. It was as if the unseen guest had taken it with them, leaving the friends to wonder if it had ever been there at all. The experience left them shaken, a haunting memory that would stay with them forever. These chilling encounters are just a glimpse into the dark side of hostels. From whispers in the night to shadowy figures and hidden chambers, these stories remind us that we are not alone. Each hostel, with its revolving door of travelers, holds within its walls countless stories. Some are tales of laughter and adventure, while others whisper of terror and the unknown. The next time you find yourself checking into a hostel, remember the stories. Pay attention to the energy of your surroundings. Listen for the whispers. You never know what might be lurking just beyond your perception, waiting for the opportune moment to reveal itself. The world of the paranormal is a complex and often terrifying one. These stories serve as a reminder that the line between our world and the next is thin, especially in places like hostels, where countless lives have intersected over the years, leaving behind their energy and experiences. As I continue my investigations into the unknown, I am constantly struck by the power of these stories. They remind us that there is still so much we don't understand about the world around us. But perhaps that's part of the allure, the mystery, the fear, the possibility that something truly terrifying might be lurking just around the corner. So, the next time you're staying in a hostel, remember these stories. Be aware of your surroundings, listen for the whispers, and most importantly, remember that you are never truly alone, for you never know who or what might be sharing your room.